Alright, next. Lesson 20, the first topic, extra modest expression. So remember, last time we were working on the honorific verbs. Honorific verbs, the significance is, what is significance?
Significant.
Honorific
About
verbs.
significant.
特徴、特別なところ。
Uh,
Honorific verbs?
significant. Okay. So he said, dropping yourself. Dropping myself.
Okay,
Dropping myself.
Yukiko, you go too far away. Okay, let's clear out honorific verbs. This is you lift up others.
Sorry. Honorific. Humble.
Yes.
Sorry.
So opposite. Yes. So today's theme is the opposite one. Extra. Modest.
Extra modest expression.
Mm-hmm.
Humble expression.
So you do the opposite things. You are putting yourself down. Push yourself.
Dropping yourself.
So your
Put
position.
yourself down.
Yes. Yeah. He used this phrase. Push yourself. Put down yourself down. Yes. So that
Put down your.
eventually you bring other people's situation up relatively. Okay, listen out the video at 1 minute 28 seconds.
Don't mind. The first thing we're going to be covering tonight is expressions in Japanese. So extra modest expressions basically push yourself. You're talking about your own actions. So when you're talking about something you're going to do and you want to be very, very respectful to the people you are telling the thing you're going to do or didn't do, you're going to use the extra modest expressions. Now, last week we talked about honorifics, and they're a bit different from extra modest expressions, though they are similar. Now, last time I told you that the honorific expressions, you're probably not going to use those much yourself. You'll hear them a lot when you're out at restaurants or if you're out at stores. It was very much a recognition lesson. It wasn't stuff you're going to be using. This one's a little bit different. Now, this is also stuff you'll be hearing, so you need to learn to recognize it so that you can understand it when you hear it. But you probably will find yourself using these expressions far more often than you will honorific expressions in the last lesson. So it is important that you learn what they mean and ideally how to use them, because these ones are a little bit more common. So let's just go ahead and jump into them, and then we'll go over how we use them with some example sentences later on. So the first one is iru, to exist, which is changed to oru. Now I just want to mention before we go too far into this is that I'm giving you the dictionary forms of these extra modest expressions, but they're almost always going to be used in their mas form. You'll almost never use them in this form. Generally speaking, it's always going to be in the mas form. The next verbs are iku and kuru. Now, just like with honorific expressions, these use the exact same verb. There's no distinction between them, and that is mairu. Iku and kuru become mairu. Now, taberu and nomu, eat and drink, just like with honorifics, there's no distinction between the two. They are itadaku. Some more verbs, we have suru, which becomes itasu. And you, to say, becomes mozu. Aru becomes gozaru. Now, gozaru is one of the ones that maybe you will not be using very frequently. Gozaru and down here, this de gozaru, these are really only used in very formal business situations. You're not going to be using them very frequently in normal conversation, even if you're speaking very respectfully to people. If you're not in some kind of a business situation, you're probably not going to be using these two. Te iru becomes...
Okay, I stop here, but ている becomes, what is it? ている becomes?
tail becomes. So, 行ってごめんなさい。わからない。
大丈夫です。Okay, so, okay, いる what is it? いる becomes?
いる becomes all.
Exactly. So, then, いる becomes all. 日本にいます。
日本におります。
日本におります。Exactly. So, then, how about this? 今話しています。
話しております。
Exactly. So, just same. ております。ておる。So, because いる。いる is after all いる。So, ている form, just use おる。Okay. What Andy said a little bit, mentioned about it is you don't hear dictionary form. Do you agree? You always use what form? Formal, informal, which one? Formal. おります。So, tail form を話しております。食べております。飲んでおります。So always
飲んでおります。
okay, you're back. Good. Yes, おります。Then, oru is you gotta make mass form, right? おります。Okay, let's make 行く、来る。日本に行きます。
日本に参ります。
Exactly. はい、参ります。You make mass form. 参ります。はい。アイスクリームを食べます。
アイスクリームを、食べます。なんだろうな。いただきます。Yes, yes, yes. いただきます。
じゃあビール飲みます。
ビールをいただきます。
But what is essentially? Actually, there is an essential verb here.
いただく
So, 食べる、飲む is we are just saying receiving. So,
うん。
this is もらう verb.
もらう verb.
Yeah. So,
Yes,
you know, instead of we are saying アイスクリーム食べます、ビール飲みます、we are actually just changing アイスクリームもらいます、ビールもらいます、and just decorate it into いただく。That's a kind of feeling, right? So we are not using 食べる or 飲む instead using different verb いただく、もらいます then decorate いただきます OK する宿題します宿題しますいたす宿題いたします Sounds super weird. Why? Because 宿題 is your own things you do for yourself that this doesn't relate to the listener's relationship, right? So that's why yeah, the 宿題いたします sounds really off. But for example, 出張します出張いたしますそういたします Okay, how about you? お礼を言います。
申す。
申す、must form。
申します。
申します。私はあずみと言います。
あずみと申します。
Exactly. はい。The first introduction sentence 私はねと申します。It comes from here. 私はあずみと言います。So you wanna say it more like a modestly. That's why you use 申します instead of 言います。Okay. あるござる。Have you ever think about this? あるござる。
あるござる。So for example, so カードございますか カードを
そうですね。カードありますか？ポイントカードありますか？はい。Instead of using あります。We say ございますか？ This is the formation last week we are mentioned ございます。So instead of conjugated to ござります。We usually drop our sound and say
Yes.
ございます。ございます。うんうんうんうん。OK。じゃあ練習しようね。今どこにいますか？No. I'm sorry. Usually, it is a little bit weird because it is like you use to yourself that question sentence. Usually, we don't use it, right? Because you are not gonna question it to yourself.
Yes, yes.
It is more likely that always a statement to describe your own action. OK。私は日本にいます。はい。
私は日本におります。
働いています。
毎日働いております。
学校に来ます。
学校に行っておりません。
学校に来ます。
学校に来ます。学校に参ります。
いいですよ、いいですよ。はい。私は何にしようかな。私は先生です。
私は先生です。私は先生でございます。
Yeah.
先生でございます。先生でございます。
Yeah, but-
教師でございます。It's better.
Yeah. Exactly.
教師でございます。
Yes, but here is just saying ある, but actually this sentence can be also ございます. How is that happened is this becomes である. That's why でございます. So, ある. Okay, if I type like this.
Yes. Or you can say maybe so. 私は教師をしております。しております。
Yeah, change to the
いたしております。教師をいたしております。
である。
しております。
はい、ダンさん、こんにちは。でござる。そうですね。です、である。はい。で、先生でございます。というふうに使いますね。はい。OK。でございます。はい。ここは、例えばここは、
これ思い出した。ございます。So I often hear in a restaurant. So for example, the staff serving the soup. スープでございます。
そうです、そうです。これ
は
はラーメンです。醤油ラーメンです。醤油ラーメンでございます。So you need で because this is this sentence. So you need でラーメンでございます。ビールでございます。This is this sentence.
お釣りでございます。
はい、いいですね。というわけで、extra modest expression are only explained for certain verbs. Then, what if outside of these verbs, what we should do is the coming topic, humble expression. So let's take a look.